Hey everyone, it's Pastor Jonathan. I hope you're having a good day. The devotional that I want to share with you this afternoon comes from Matthew chapter 20, starting with verse 29 and going through 34. So hear the word of the Lord. As they were leaving Jericho, a large crowd followed him. There were two blind men sitting by the roadside. When they heard that Jesus was passing by, they shouted, "Lord, have mercy on us, Son of David!" The crowd sternly ordered them to be quiet, but they shouted even more loudly, "Have mercy on us, Lord, Son of David!" Jesus stood still and called them, saying, "What do you want me to do for you?" They said to him, "Lord, let our eyes be opened." Moved with compassion, Jesus touched their eyes. Immediately they regained their sight and followed him. This is the word of the Lord. Thanks be to God. Now, I was reading a book recently called The Sabbath Experiment by Rob Mathia, and that's where I got a lot of the information that I'm going to share with you today. We as a society have kind of developed a short attention span, and this has kind of come with our love for technology. We scroll through social media and our brains quickly sift through massive amounts of information, and we decide if something's important or not in a split second, whether it's worth reading or not worth of our attention. And we sift through all of this information. And that's not necessarily a bad thing, but it's caused us to neglect some of our other reading skills. And this doesn't mean it happens to everyone, but sometimes we lose our ability to sit with longer articles or reading multiple pages of a book and think critically about them. I tell you that to say this. Research in our brains have shown that it takes roughly 6 to 12 seconds for compassion to be fully registered by our brains. Why is that important? Well, when we're scrolling through social media and we see updates from people's lives or articles in the news where people are experiencing pain and affliction, especially in these days that we find ourselves in, it can be easy to scroll to the next thing really quickly and not pay it any attention. And we've cut that compassion off because we didn't allow it to develop. We didn't give it the appropriate time to sit in that kind of pain. And I want to point your attention to Jesus today, because what we see in Jesus in this story is we find a God who stops what he's doing, calls out to the ones who are in pain, and gives them the opportunity to continue to voice that pain and sits with them in it, and ultimately leads to bring about their own healing. That's the kind of God that we need to mirror and reflect in these days. So my practice for you today, with what little of the day is left, is for you to take a moment to sit. What I love about prayer is not really what it does to God. Our prayers don't really move God to do anything, but our prayers do something to us. And so I want to give you this opportunity, this space, to sit and be quiet and reflect on either things that you're experiencing that are painful and hard, or things you know about of other people. If you're home alone, all by yourself, sit and think about that. Any prayer requests that you have from family or friends, or things going on in your own life. If you're with your family and you're in isolation, especially if you have children, sit with them. Ask them what's going on in their lives, the things that they're feeling, and give yourself permission to voice your own things to them. And in that kind of authenticity, in that relationship, be with one another. And then I invite you to just be quiet for however long you want. Sometimes the quiet feels way longer than it actually is, and that's okay. So whether it's 30 seconds, a minute, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, however long, just be quiet. Some of you with small children may need just a moment of quiet for this afternoon. Anyway, I love you. You are missed, and I cannot wait to be with you again. The peace of the Lord be with each and every single one of you.